So as we've been walking, you might be asking, well, Seth, where are all these tracks that you were supposed to be finding? Well, in the home area, it has not snowed in a couple weeks even, and we've had a lot of days that have been going above freezing during the day and below freezing at night. So a lot of our tracks have disappeared. But what's exciting about this is that if we can find any new tracks, we know that they've only been around for a couple of days. We're going to keep our eyes out as we go. So I did mention that we're going to keep our eyes out for any signs of animals. You might ask, well, what is a sign that we can find of an animal around here? And what I'm thinking of are things like hair on a tree, maybe some tracks that animal have left behind, maybe an area that the animal's been eating, and of course, we got to talk about poop, or as naturalists, we talk about scat. So we have some wonderful scat here in the trail, and for those that have not seen it before, this is scat of a moose. So I did mention that we were going to talk a little bit about what our largest animal that we can find here at the Wind Nature Center, the moose, might be eating all winter. So you're a giant 1,000-pound animal that needs to eat up to 50 pounds of vegetation or plants every single day. Not a lot of plants right now. So sometimes you might have to eat a spruce tree, but as I mentioned, kind of pokey, doesn't taste all that good. So what most of our moose are eating all winter long are twigs off of this bush. Now, I'm sure it doesn't look like much at home, but this is our wonderful willow. And if we get really close, you might actually be able to tell that that willow has been nipped on by a moose. Now, I don't always recommend this at home, eating every plant you find, but yeah. So willow, for at least humans, is very bitter. And if you're a moose, you might be eating a lot of bitter food every day, but that's what's going to get you through all winter long. Now, as I've been thinking, I talked a little bit about how, of course, there are animals around, but we might not be able to see a lot of them because they might be nocturnal or coming out at night, or they're really small. So I am not expecting you to be able to see the animals that are all around me right now, but hopefully you can hear them. So I'm going to stop talking and see if you can hear these wonderful animals in the trees. Now, as I mentioned, I did not expect you to see all of the tiny little birds that are flying around me, but hopefully if you turn your volume way up, you might have actually been able to hear some of them. Now, what are these birds? You can possibly look up a picture really quick, but the birds that are singing or calling around me right now are a few different species. One is the boreal chickadee, kind of like the black-capped chickadee, but found in our boreal forests. Another is a little tiny bird called the golden-crowned kinglet. Should definitely look that one up. That is a cute, cool-looking bird. And then the big flocks that are flying all around me up in the sky are a couple different species. Again, we probably have some pine siskins up there. They love a good bird feeder. And our white-winged crossbill. And there actually are some white-winged crossbills way at the top of that spruce tree. Of course, I don't expect you to see that, but hopefully you can hear them.